first place, so they could know. That would have been like, I don't know, the chill thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
You know, my Final Fantasy 14 character is gone.
Wow. Yeah, right.
It was on Lamia, right? Lamia?
I think so. I mean, I know that's where me and Rick played. I don't know if you jumped on the right server or not. I don't know. I'm not really playing the Lamia character anymore. I'm over on Coral, so I started from scratch.
Coral?
Yeah. Over in the Crystal Data Center.
Hmm.
That is how you pronounce that word. It's Coral.
It should like say. Yeah. I just don't understand how or why my character disappeared.
I don't know.
That stinks.
I just know that it takes like no time at all to get to like level 25. So if you were under level 25, it really doesn't matter if your character goes missing.
Yeah, I guess I'm starting over. That stinks.
Yeah.
Oh well, I hadn't been playing much anyway. Maybe that's why they deleted it for some reason.
I don't know.
Wasn't active
I know
for a month.
some games. I don't think Final Fantasy 14 is one of them, but some games your characters will disappear if you're not on the right DirectX as a game. 14 shouldn't be a problem though, because it's a continuously supported game that should be running on the current version of DirectX. But yeah. I remember I was trying to go back into Lord of the Rings Online, which is not a currently supported game. And it only runs on DirectX 9 and DirectX 10. At the time that I was trying to play, it wasn't even that recently, but I had 11, right? 11 was the standard when I went back to play it. And running 11, my characters didn't show up in the character select menu. I had multiple characters too. They didn't show up. I made a new character, and then when I went to go log back in, it didn't show up again. After I went back and I installed DirectX 9, because 10 was giving me like fucking issues, so I just went back to 9 instead. All my characters popped up. And apparently, because of the way they programmed the game, your character select is attached to your version DirectX. So if you had 9 or 10, you would have different rosters of made characters for 9 and for 10. I don't know how they made the game like that. That's just the way they made it.
It's like maybe if it has completely different clients.
Maybe the servers pick you up differently, right? Like you wouldn't play with people who play on 9 and people play on 10 don't play together.
I guess not. That is very strange.
Yeah, very strange.
Well, I didn't change anything, so I think it just...
Wait, I don't think they could be on different clients, though. That wouldn't make sense, because I was still playing it with 11, it's just when I went to log back in, my new character disappeared, which means I was still playing it with people who were playing the game through the other DirectX operatives. So I don't know what kind of witchcraft they did in making that game. But they did some type of tomfoolery.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. All I know is welcome to the Vomitorium Weekday show for the 24th of August, 2021. As always, I'm your host, The Metal, and joining me is my co-host, Marsupial Gamer. How you doing?
Good. I'm still in the void. I'm still in the rebellious pastry void.
This green emptiness that happens to have a desk and some equipment, but nothing else.
That's right. It's nice and clean. There's no clutter here whatsoever.
Yeah. You ever wonder, like in an anime, when like people are in the void or whatever, but then they're still standing, and everybody's on the same
Yeah.
level, and there's like maybe
Yeah.
even like a cast shadow. Like, what are they standing on? How do they even have a level?
Did you ever watch The Good Place? That show?
I started to.
Some of it. Yeah. At one point, they have to go into the void, but it's specifically what was her name? The little helper woman. I don't remember what her name is, but she's like an android kind of thing. She has a void that they can go into at some point, and it's just white. But you're right; they're all standing somehow on the same plane, but you can't see what they're standing on. They're just standing on whiteness.
Yeah, like one thing I liked was in Digimon during the very final act, right, when they're going against like the ultimate boss fight or whatever. They are like in an empty space. They're like at the end of everything, and they're not all on the same plane. Like they're standing there as if they're standing, but they were like all at like different angles to each other. Even like somebody being upside down. It's like, well, that makes a little bit more sense because that's almost like just floating in free space.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes more sense. Timothy Olsen says September 2nd, What We Do in the Shadows Season 3 starts.
I never finished Season 1. It was funny. Like, I get why people like it. I don't know. There's other things to do.
Well, I noticed there was no new episode of Rick and Morty this week.
Yeah, it's September 5th. And we're
Oh,
getting
is that the next one?
both 9 and 10, which will end out the season, I believe, are coming out on 5th.
Yeah.
This is going to be a big season finale.
Oh, okay. Neat. It didn't seem like it was building to anything this season.
Well,
like there was some
I don't know.
hints,
Kinda.
but you know.
I mean, I actually really enjoyed the Bird Person episode. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah. There were some hints near the beginning of the season as to what might be going on, but it seemed like the later episodes kind of were just random. So, I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Well, also
in a
didn't
couple
help
of
that
weeks.
some of the episodes aired out of order because episode 7 aired before 5 and 6.
Oh, is that what happened?
And they probably did that on purpose.
Sneaky.
Yeah.
Well, glad to know you're on top of it because I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah. You know me. I'm on top of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm either on top of it or I just don't care altogether.
Yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of things that you're on top of, what is going on with the Newgrounds shenanigans?
Oh, okay. So this was pretty funny. That happened earlier today. I actually kind of woke up to this. I'm like, oh, this was a great thing to wake up to. So Ninja Muffin, who we kind of know of, it's one of the creators of Friday Night Funkin', which we've talked about on this podcast a few times before, had asked Aaron Hansen, Ego Raptor, the great and powerful Aaron Hansen, who refuses to kind of go by Ego Raptor anymore, even though it's still his @handle on Twitter. I don't get the guy. He says one thing and does another. But he's a game developer, technically. They've made a game. He's been a voice actor in games, right? He also came off of Newgrounds. So he's kind of close to some people who used to be on Newgrounds and some people who are game developers. They're just in the same circles. And Ninja Muffin asked him to give some words of encouragement to his friend Tom, who is currently developing a game and might be struggling through it. He didn't tell Ego Raptor that the person's last name was Fulp, that he knows and is the creator of Newgrounds and has already made several games before, because Ninja Muffin is kind of known for trolling. So Ego Raptor goes out and he does like this kind of long, really like cheery, happy-go-lucky video. The type of things that like the way he talks when he's on Game Grumps and stuff, or maybe even the way he used to talk in his videos, just a lot cleaner. Talking about like, hey Tom, keep it up. You'll do great. You may be an inspiring game developer, but the fact that you're already working on a game means you can take that inspiring off. You are a game developer and stuff. It was actually a pretty good message for anybody who would be an inspiring developer. A very unneeded message for somebody who's already put out several games and has been in the industry for as long as he has been now. And even Fulp saw it and laughed and had a nice little comment, and it was pretty funny. And I thought it was especially funny since, like, I don't even remember. It was either last year or the year before that. Might even be a couple years now. But Egoraptor kind of threw the whole Newgrounds community under the bus publicly on Twitter.
Did he?
Yeah, I don't know if you know. So there's this guy named Sir Pello, or Senior Pello, right? Senior Pello he's a pretty cool guy. He doesn't really speak English, but he can work his way through it. He's a Spanish speaker, makes very hilarious fucking videos, even if you don't understand what is being said in the videos. And a lot of them are very similar to the type of shit that Aaron used to make when he was still Egoraptor back in his early days. And for some reason, talk about modern cancel culture, he felt the need to talk about how wrong it was to make videos like this on Twitter at one point in time, even though they were what made him popular. He's basically the whole, like, yeah, it was okay for me to get popular off of this, but I'm a better person now and nobody should be making videos like this kind of thing. And even somewhat threw the whole community under the bus in that exchange of posts, and even kind of referred to Newgrounds as a relic of the past. So
what kind of videos are these?
They're just flash videos, animated. They're like comedy little cartoons that are somewhat dirty and obscene and stuff, you know? Which are the type of stuff. I don't know, you've probably never seen Egoraptor stuff. Like, you probably know of him because Game Grumps is so big, but you probably have no idea what he did before that, right?
Not really.
Yeah, so what he used to do is he was a flash animator on Newgrounds. One of the most prolific. I wouldn't even say he was the best, but he had a certain sense of humor. He was pretty funny, and he was one of the most popular, right? In fact, he got so popular at one point in time that if anybody else was making, like, edgy cartoons in a not even distinctly the same, but like a similar cartoony style, they would say, oh, this is like an Egoraptor cartoon. You're trying to be like Egoraptor. Like, it became a big thing to the point that he even voiced himself in a parody making fun of people with that attitude. But, like, he was very prolific. He had a series called the Awesome series, which is basically you would take a game, add the word awesome into the title, and it would just be some, like, ridiculous parody of whatever. Metal Gear Awesome is probably one of the best, but I think my favorite is Awesome Center Redux, which is just Trauma Center, but crazy. He also did Girl Chan and a whole bunch of different videos, and he was in a bunch of collabs all the time, too. Just great classic internet gold. That is honestly way better than anything he's done after that, like Game Grumps and shit. None of that compares to the animations that he used to do. He even used to do a series called Sequelitis, where there was animation in it, but it was basically him reviewing games and explaining why the sequel that everybody likes is not as good as the previous one. His most famous one saying that all the 3D Zeldas suck compared to the 2D Zeldas. Like, they're still, they're okay games, but they're just not as good as the 2D Zeldas, because the 2D Zeldas flawlessly integrated exploration and combat into the same structure, while in the 3D games, they're kind of separate, which isn't the case in Breath of the Wild, but this was made way before Breath of the Wild was even a thing.
Yeah, so he sent in motivation about Nightmare Cops.
Yes,
I
Nightmare
guess,
Cops,
latest
which is the game that Tom Fulp and I think Dan is working with, because I think it's a Behemoth game, and Behemoth Games is Tom Fulp and Dan Paladin. They've got a few other people, but those are the two that kind of started together. Alien Hominid was their thing, and then that grew into like Castle Crashers and stuff. So I believe it's under his game company title. And Nightmare Cops is the current game that they're working on.
Yeah. And Tom Fulp replied, "This is the motivation I needed. I am going to finish Nightmare Cops today. I hope everyone enjoys it tomorrow."
Yeah, which is, you know, a ridiculous standard to make, but the big funny thing is that he made that whole thing in the way that he made it because Ninja Muffin omitted Tom Fulp's last name. He just said his buddy Tom. When if he had said the full name, Aaron probably wouldn't have recorded the video in the first place.
Yeah. Well, it sounded like he didn't even say who he was. Ninja Muffin didn't say who he was either.
Yeah, but Aaron knew who he was talking to. They know each other.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
okay. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Got him.
Great. Got him.
So he basically made his fortune or fame or whatever in a certain way, and then once he got through, he closed the gate behind him and said, "Nobody should be making these anymore."
Yeah.
Typical gatekeeper.
Again, it's sad too because all the shit that he used to do. I kind of want to do a watch party. I was talking to Stan about this too because he recently went through and watched all of the Awesome series and even a bunch of other stuff. But like, I kind of want to have a watch party of all of Ego Raptor's old stuff because it's way better than the shit he's working on now.
Yeah.
I mean, half of what he does is just play video games, right? There's no problem with just playing video games. But when you're somebody who used to be like a popular high-level creative, and then you go to like, I don't want to do that anymore. I just want to make jokes while playing video games on the internet. It kind of seems like a downgrade, right? Like this is something somebody does in their retirement. They don't make a business off of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, you know,
alrighty.
He's been through a lot of controversies over the years, especially like the whole Jontron stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I just thought this was neat.
Was he involved in that?
Well, Jontron used to be Game Grumps, so when it started, it was him and Aaron.
Oh.
And then...
okay.
After the split up, which we still don't even know exactly what happened, but it seems like they're cool with each other, which happened in like the Star Wars, the Starcade things that John did. They actually tried to basically like erase him for a while. Like anytime they talk about it, they would always talk about, you know, like after Dan came on, they would not even mention Jontron's name on the show for like years, as if like that era never happened. But that's neither here nor there. I just thought that'd be a little fun thing to talk about. Especially because I've been spending so much time with Newgrounds peoples as of late. Like, this is funny.
Well, a new game was released today.
Oh, what was released?
Aliens Fireteam Elite.
Oh, I kept seeing news about that. I had no idea what the fuck it was, but then I was like scrolling through. Why are there 6 stories in a row about this thing in titles that once again look like they could have been made into a single story?
Yeah, exactly. Apparently, it was released today. I obviously didn't know anything about it either, but Yellow Flash did a stream earlier today, and I saw that he was playing it, so I was like, I didn't even realize that it was a brand new game, but it looks cool. It's a co-op third-person shooter type game. It looks like just waves and waves of aliens coming at you, and you have to move around. Like mostly like the little dog aliens, and then a few of the bigger ones. I don't know. If you like third-person shooters, it looked neat. Somewhat like claustrophobic.
Third-person shooters are fun.
Yeah, not at all like Alien Isolation. It didn't look like. Looked like you had plenty of ammo and lots of aliens.
It's not a horror game. It's an action game.
Right. So
that's
out there, and I guess it's out for PS5 and 4 and Xbox and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
and Windows.
You know,
it's also on
kind
Steam.
Of game I want. Do you remember the movie Alien vs. Predator?
Yes.
Yes. And they even had some games related to it, but they never had the game I wanted. I want Alien vs. Predator extended to, like, like how Alien versus Predator 2 with the Predalien was in the cities. I wanted to be in a city or something, but I want you to play as the people in the game, not the alien or the predator.
Like that was the one that was like in a giant pyramid, right? In the
Yes,
Antarctic or something.
Yeah,
or the Arctic.
underground pyramid, yeah. And there's like the alien queen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want that, but I want you to be stuck as the people. With a group of people, and maybe even some intense AI. You can ramp it up or lower it, whatever, run it through higher. And just you and a group of friends have to struggle to survive in this freaking alien versus predator thing. Which means you have to like figure out how multiple different things work. And maybe even sometimes use your wits to try to get the aliens and the predators to fight each other instead of hunting you. I think that could be a really cool fun game. Yeah.
So in the games they actually released, you have to play as one or the other?
Yeah, it was always dumb.
Not the humans? Yeah, that sounds dumb.
It's like I don't want to play as a predator. I mean, maybe in like a fighting
Doesn't sound
game
like
or
enough
something, but
doesn't sound like enough of a challenge.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's what I would want. Like, if this was like a monster combat game where every single person is playing as a monster, sure, I'd want to play as like Predator or an alien or something. But
yeah,
like throughout a whole single player game or something, no, I don't want to play as the super powered guy. That's boring.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you overcoming?
I don't know. Maybe the goal is to try to overcome your boredom somehow.
Oh, well. I'm sure a lot of people failed at that.
Yeah. But one of the things I wanted to talk about, right, that I told you beforehand, and this seems very out of line for EA, and not necessarily in a bad way. It's not something you'd expect from EA and the reputation they have as a company. But EA is giving away all of its accessibility related patents for just people to use now. The one I brought out that was the most important when we were talking before is the pinging system that they have in Apex Legend will allow you to alert your teammates as to like what you plan to do, like target over there and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if those differentiate their games enough to be worth holding on to anyway.
I don't know. But some of them might, right? Because some of the stuff are specifically related to Madden and FIFA, which I don't know if you know, but the EA sports games are really different compared to every other attempt at a sports game. And some of it is their accessibility features. But I think they either have something new in store that either makes them obsolete, which is why they're opening it up. Like it doesn't matter. We don't need to hold on to the accessibility features anymore. Or they're doing it because I've had this idea that I don't think EA is the malicious company that everybody thinks EA is. I think, much like I've said with Sega, I think they are mostly just incompetent, and that's where most of their things come from. Because they've walked a lot of shit back almost immediately after people called them out, as if they didn't know what they were doing was, like, against the users. No, like, seriously, right? Even recently, we were talking about some of the games that they own, right? And they were going to take them off the shelf, like Ultima Underworld. And they're like, oh, this was a mistake. Okay, let's put it back up. Like, I don't think they're malicious. I think they're just incompetent. They don't know any better. So, like, they, as opposed to Activision used to basically buy out companies to kill them, right? Like, they would buy out the company that owned Guitar Hero, basically to just assimilate Guitar Hero, kill off the company, and then watch as the property just kind of burns in flames eventually and stuff. And they would just do that over and over. EA, on the other hand, would buy out companies, but they wouldn't kill them. They would go under because EA mismanaged them. Maybe they would set high expectations for sales or whatever, But when you actually look at the story of these companies, a lot of it, like, they weren't getting the resources they needed. The person who was in charge would get changed out after EA bought it. A lot of it just seems like just a lot of incompetency. And I think that tends to be the case with EA. So if they're not a malicious company, they're mostly just incompetent. I think they might actually be doing this because they believe that features for accessibility should be accessible for the whole market. I actually want to give them the benefit of the doubt here.
Yeah. Well, I wonder when their patents, are these relatively new or were they about to expire anyway?
No, I think most of these are new. Again, Apex Legends ping system was made for Apex Legend, and that's still a relatively new game. It's only a few years old. Maybe, I think the Madden and FIFA ones are about automatically detecting and modifying colors, brightness, contrast, and stuff like that to improve visibility with objects and things. Those might not be as new, but they're still less than a decade old. And I think the last one is actually not even fully developed yet. They say it's going to be for generating personalized music based on the user's hearing information and stylistic preference to best comport with the user's hearing issues, like for people who have hearing disabilities. So they're opening this one up, and it's not even in a game yet, so it's a new patent. And that when I read that one, that was also what made me want to say this was the benefit of the doubt. Like, they're just doing this because it's the right thing to do.
Well, I wonder, so are they just patenting it just so that nobody else could potentially patent it and steal it away from them?
Almost like making it open source in that way, right? Like, it's like, we're going to let anybody use it, but we're going to make sure that nobody else can claim it.
Yeah, and prevent anybody from using it.
Yeah.
Kind of the way Ethan Van Sciver wants to copyright Comicsgate.
Yeah.
Do really just to prevent someone from preventing someone from using it.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
But I thought that was really cool because EA gets a really bad rap. Some of it's deserved, but again, I think it is mostly through incompetence because they do a lot of stupid shit. But they do try to walk it back, like Mass Effect. And with Mass Effect 3, and a lot of people will try to like claim that Mass Effect 3's endings, where they walked back the endings and gave you DLC, was a scam. But it's like at that point, updates weren't the same. You could only get those added endings that people were complaining about the original through DLC. Back when 3 came out. It's not like now where they could just go and patch in a new ending, or it would still be DLC, but they could just add it as main content. So anybody who bought the game would just get it as a day one patch. You just couldn't do it back then. That was the only way they could put it out. And EA, for many, many years straight, was voted by consumers to be the worst company in America. And I've always had issue with this. Like, okay, one, there's plenty of worse companies in general than video game companies in America. This is a pretty petty thing to be voting. Two, if we're only limited to video game companies, Activision Blizzard has been way worse longer. Like, the entire fucking time that people were voting EA as the worst company in America. Like, this is always sat wrong. It's like, ugh.
Wasn't it Comcast for a while? I thought that was the worst company.
Yeah, it was kind of going back and forth between EA and Comcast. At Comcast, I can kind of understand because fuck Comcast. Their customer service is absolute shit.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember. Maybe you can think of some, but I can't remember too many EA game rollouts that have been as disastrous as Cyberpunk 2077 or Fallout 76 or any of those that have just been utterly disastrous. One
game was an absolute disaster, but it still sold okay. And that was Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh, okay. Wasn't that a while ago?
Yeah, I mean, it has been a while. That's the last one I can remember. I can't remember anything very recently.
I remember, SimCity the last iteration of
Yeah.
SimCity was a kind of a disaster.
And you know
But that was a
what?
long time ago.
They did try to, like, after people complained, they tried to fix that as best they could. There was just limitations to how they could fix it because they were dumb enough to make the framework of the actual game rooted online. Like, at that point, there was no way they could take it offline anymore.
Yeah.
Other than, like, shutting down the server and basically relaunching the game and giving the new version away free for people.
Yeah, but I mean, those, Bethesda and CD Projekt were just in the last couple of years.
Yeah, and when did SimCity come out?
I can't. I think
ago.
EA has been SimCity.
Yeah, the one that had.
Well, I was going to say EA has been relatively inoffensive recently. As far as I know.
Like even the last one, like that
2013.
Yeah, that's still been quite a while. That's
8 years ago.
Nearly a decade.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna say I'm a fan of EA either. I mean, I like some of their games when I was younger because they used to have a lot of good games. Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of them recently, but they're nowhere near as bad of a developer that everybody claims them to be.
Mm-hmm. That's Effect Andromeda is 2017, so that was pretty recent. Yeah. But Fallout 76 was the year after.
And even then, like, Andromeda was mostly just buggy, right? And some poor decisions, like the whole they had progressive people on the team, so they made everybody look kind of ugly. Mm-hmm. And also they had to patch it in. You couldn't pick white as like a skin palette. Originally, you couldn't be a Caucasian person. It's like, so there was some specific problems with that. Yeah, they had to patch that in. It was like people were complaining that there wasn't like a pale palette for skin.
Yeah.
But like,
that's funny.
God, I mean, even that game with its problems was still not as bad as some of the other ones you just mentioned.
Yeah. Diller's making fun of my cat ears.
Oh, well, you deserve it.
And probably my background, too.
Why does
this always happen to me? I don't know. I'm sorry. So did you see? So here's some big comic book news. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You sitting down, everyone?
Okay. What we got?
Temple of Polar Twilight is done.
Oh, yes, I saw that.
Can you believe it?
I haven't had time to go over it yet, but I did see it.
Yeah. It needs to be edited, but the full book has been drawn. It is in editing right now. And presumably will be, going to print soon, maybe? Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
So that's good news. I know. I can't wait for the next one. In fact,
mostly what we've been waiting for, right? For the whole Buckler thing. Like, I mean, Dillard's in the chat. He could answer this, but I assumed he finished most of the main comic before finishing Temple of the Polar Twilight.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I assume that one's already done. Yeah, his original comic's already done, right?
Yeah.
The first one.
I don't know.
But then I saw. No, I didn't even realize. Well, I guess I did. He's got a volume 2 coming soon. I'm not gonna spoil it or anything. I'll let him announce that when he's ready. But
the coming soon thing, because he worked on that a while ago, so he just added it in.
Yeah. But that's exciting. Yes, I am live from Rebellious Pixie's desk. She invited me into her home to.
Okay, so the original just needs a letter.
Broadcast from here.
Honestly, there's not that much longer we'll be waiting for everything to come together, editing, lettering, and stuff, and then printing. Like, we should definitely have the Buckler before the end of the year. Out to the people.
Yeah, can't wait. And that next campaign's gonna be big. It's gonna sell way more.
It's gonna can't wait. So like hotcakes.
I'm gonna hammer.
All day.
I'm gonna hammer on damn Van Sciver until he gets put Dillard on his show again. to promote his. I think he should launch on Comic Artist Pro Secrets.
Well, I mean,
think that'd
good luck
be
with
great.
that.
I mean, obviously it's up to him, but
Yeah.
I saw Aaron Lepresti's launch. He sold $35,000 in 24 hours. I was like, holy shit! I don't even know who this guy is, and he's already up to 55,000. Like John's like 10 times the artist to that dude.
Yes, he is a very
He
talented
definitely
guy.
needs to. No. That's right. Rebellious Pastry is my alt account.
It was a secret the whole time. Darn, now the world knows.
That's right. Yeah, there she is right there on the computer.
But yes, no, I can't wait. I cannot wait to hold the book in the hand. I'm gonna take my ash can.
Yeah.
They're all gonna be sitting right next to each other.
I'm gonna put it right next to Vestry. I'm gonna put Vestry on either side of it. It'll all look beautiful together.
Well, you know, we did establish that the Buckler and Vestry or Damon are basically the same character. I mean, they're both kind of like
Yeah.
muscly and rage fueled, and they both kind of have like a spectral antler form type thing that goes Super Saiyan. Like they're basically the same character.
Yeah. You know, I tell you, Chabby and Pickles, man, they need to work on their outreach or presence for Volume 4 of Vestry, because I've been looking at the sales. They've been going down.
Yeah, I'm
each
just
issue.
saying. They did okay
And-
every single time Pickles came on our show. And then with the last one, has he been on our show? There could be a chain there. I'm just saying.
Maybe.
Pickles, you know where we are.
All I'm saying is I haven't seen them live streaming, and I haven't seen them do anything, and I'm just like, guys, you know, you got to be out there promoting it.
I didn't even
People
know
aren't
your
just
book
gonna-
was going on. How am I supposed to
Yeah.
promote it if you don't come and tell me?
Exactly. Of course, they're not here right now, but I'm just saying, promotion is everything when it comes to crowdfunding.
Oh, well, it's the only thing. Literally the only thing when it comes to crowdfunding. There's nothing else. You can have a
Yeah.
good product.
Well, we
doesn't
talked
matter.
about
You
this.
can have a shit product if your promotion's great. What was it? What was that one? Mashed potatoes or something like that, or there was a big Kickstarter
What?
where a dude basically just
Oh.
kickstarted like a potato thing.
A bowl of mashed potatoes.
Yeah, it was just a bowl of mashed potatoes.
Or
like
potatoes. No, it's potato salad. That's what it
potato
was.
salad. Yeah, you could be just a fucking bowl of potato salad, and if your promotion is great, you're gonna be one of the best-selling Kickstarters in the history of Kickstarter or
That's
any
right.
crowdfunding. So like, come on, get together with it.
Yeah. Somebody did sell a bowl of potato salad. He made lots of money. I don't remember how much it was. But it was
Lots
insane.
of potato salad.
Yeah, but you know, we talked about this when we were talking about the whole Kickstarter versus Indiegogo. None of that matters if you're not promoting your product. So,
Oh yeah, like God, what's his name? The guy who does Lady Death. I'm trying to remember his name. It starts with a B.
Lady Death.
It's like Brian or something like that.
Billy Tucci?
Is he? What? Is he? No.
Tucci? I don't know.
Yeah,
Are you
Brian
ready? All right,
Polito.
for those... Brian Polito. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
been doing Lady Death for a long time, and a lot of it has been crowdfunded for a long time, even before Kickstarter was even like an option. He'd been doing it privately, like through like PayPal donations and shit like that through his site. Like, it doesn't matter what you're doing to collect the money. Your promotion is literally the only thing that matters.
Yeah, I believe Brian Polito is on Kickstarter.
Oh yeah, he's doing it now. It's easier to collect money that way.
But if anybody is unfamiliar, because I get the feeling that people are not familiar with this, here is the Kickstarter for potato salad.
Yeah, yeah. It's historic.
And
Kickstarter.
that's right. It went up in 2014, or yeah, 2014, and it got almost 7,000 backers pledged $55,000 for literal quote, "I'm making potato salad."
Yeah.
By Zach Danger Brown. I guess Danger's his middle name. And they got a bunch of people got T-shirts. And, yeah, his goal was $10, and he made 55,000. So that's what good promotion will do. So yeah, I mean, Aaron Lepresti just barely hit 55,000. This guy just made potato salad.
Yeah, it's literally all about promotion. That's all that matters.
Rebellious Joshua's just joking. He can relax.
Or is he?
Elric says, I still don't like Kickstarter because I have to keep money in the bank until the campaign is over. I agree. In fact, I had
probably always have money in your account if you're even going to have an account, but I get what you mean.
Yeah. There was a time when I pledged a Kickstarter, and by the time it came along, I didn't have enough money in my bank account. Those were the lean years.
Yeah.
To cover it. And that was kind of a bummer, but
yeah, it's not even that. I don't want to have to think about why did this fund suddenly get taken out of my account. Oh yeah, that's right. I backed a Kickstarter earlier in the month, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd rather be surprised when the thing I bought gets to me, not when the money goes out.
Yeah, I'll just take it.
That's a bad surprise.
I don't have to worry about this. What if I want to make a big purchase later, right? Where I will be cutting it close to my account. What if I just want to buy, I don't know, a new microwave, and now all of a sudden I get a ping. It's like, well, you didn't have enough money for this thing afterwards. It's like, oh, that's right, I needed to leave that much money in my account. Indiegogo just takes it out. That I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're real good about, like, if you want to upgrade your perk, they'll just refund you. You basically just go in. I mean, presumably before the campaign is over, you just refund. They immediately pay you back, and then you buy the new perk that you want instead. So, or if you just want a refund, they'll just refund you right away if it's before the end of the campaign.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, on the Kickstarter way, it's even easier. You basically just cancel your order. No money has been taken out yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, there's not that much of a downside to having them take it out immediately. Because if you want it back, you can get it. So.
Microwaves are.
John says microwaves.
I'm
moving into a new apartment next week, I guess. And I don't know if it has a microwave or not. So I might have to buy one. They're not expensive, are they?
They used to be. I don't know if they've gone down.
Also
depends on your wattage too. I like making things hot. I need like a fucking 1,000-watt microwave. I know some people that can get away with like a 75 or whatever, like
the 750.
But like, I need 1,000.
Yeah. It's usually 1,100. I think is
1,100's fine. 1,500's fine too. I can't do less than 1,000.
15.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if they make 1,500.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I like the 1,100 ones. Those are my favorite. But there might already be one in there. If it sucks, maybe I'll replace it though. Who knows? But I got all my kitchen stuff today. I'll just the basics, plates and forks and knives.
What about a toaster oven?
I think my mom bought me a toaster today.
Right.
Not a toaster oven. I do like toaster ovens, but I think she just got me a regular toaster.
Those can be expensive. Like the one over here is really fucking expensive, but it's basically a small oven. It's the size of a fucking microwave.
Yeah. Oh, John's got a good one. A good microwave. 1,200.
Yeah. $350. Okay, I think they've gone down. In the past, it would be like near $500 to get a 1200 microwave, which to me is an expensive purchase.
Yeah, you can get a big screen TV for $350 for God's sake. It's insane. It may not be super high quality or anything, but
is expensive as fuck. It takes up like the entire counter space. But if you just get like one of those tiny little ones, the size of a bread box that you sit on there, those things are cheap. You can get one of those for like nothing.
Yeah. You know, I'm sure my apartment will have a full-size refrigerator, but I also think I'm going to get a little mini fridge.
Yeah, for your room
and
or your office space or whatever.
Yeah. So somebody on Twitter was randomly tweeted out this cool-looking mini fridge.
Fridges are not as expensive as they used to be either.
Yeah. And you can get a cool, like, retro-looking one. Cool. But yeah, I used to have a toaster oven. They're very versatile because you can toast with them, but you can also just bake with them. You can put chicken in there if you want. Small one.
Yeah, those tiny microwaves.
John says those tiny microwaves. Yeah, can't handle frozen pot pies.
Oh, this one's a big one. I don't know if you guys can see it back here.
Yeah, just sort of barely. It looks big.
It's huge.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
General huge. Electric. That's the type of microwave you need. You can cook anything in here.
Yeah. So have you seen, did we talk about the new Spider-Man trailer? I think we might have. Briefly?
I don't know if we talked on air. You and I talked about it for sure, but I don't know if that was after we cut or not.
Wait. Rubella's Pastry says, get an Instant Pot. What is an Instant Pot? Is that like a crock pot?
I don't know. I like electric kettles.
Oh, yeah. Peach has one of those. She loves it.
I used to have an electric soup kettle, which is like the bigger one. And I used to have I still have it somewhere. Maybe my brother has it. An electric tea kettle. Those heat up like really fucking fast.
Yeah. She says, look it up. What the hell is an Instant Pot? I know what a crock pot is, but that sounds like the opposite because that's like a slow cooker, right?
Yeah.
If I search Instant Pot, it's going to come up with drugs, isn't it? Oh no, there we go. It's it's a pressure cooker or a slow cooker. Okay. You can use it as a pressure cooker or a slow cooker. Oh man, I'll have to get that because I need a crock pot of some sort or slow cooker.
I also used to have a rice cooker. I don't know if I still have that anymore.
Thanks for the tip. I'll have to check that out. Instant Pot. Neat. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing this Dolce diet. Have you heard of that?
No. What is it?
Some wrestling coach, Mike Dolce, came up with this diet, and apparently it does involve crockpot recipes, which are really easy. You put everything in the morning, and then it's ready by dinner time. So I think once I'm on my own again, because I don't really want to spend a lot of time cooking, and I don't want to spend a lot of time figuring what to buy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get this diet. Basically, it gives you your grocery list, and it gives you recipes, and it's just like, here, just buy this and eat this, and it's like, okay, I don't have to think about it.
Just eat a lot of stew.
So I think just
fine.
Yeah. I think just for the convenience of it, and if I lose weight, then great. But just for the convenience of basically having a preset grocery list every week or whatever. Would be
also,
great.
Fuck air fryers. Some things are great out of them, but there's certain things that when you cook them in an air fryer, I just don't like the texture that they have anymore. Like it just doesn't cook things right.
What is an air fryer? I've had an air popcorn maker.
It's a dry cooker, right? Like you put things in there. It's a modern fad that everybody likes. My mom and my brother have a freaking air fryer. So, like, if you put a corn dog in there or something, it's fine. There's certain things you just shove in there, it's fine. But there's certain things that come out, and they're just fucking ruined. And it's like, oh, look, it's great. You put anything in an air fryer. No, fuck it.
You should check out this Instant Pot. You can use it as a rice cooker. And it's only $70.
No, that's actually not bad.
Hey. 6 quarts. That's neat. Anyway. Rebellious Pastry has loads of good ideas.
You get an air fryer extension Instant Pot.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't. Why would I want to cook, like, heat up pasta in the air fryer anyway? Like, listen, some things are nice. Microwave's nice because you can heat something up real fucking fast. A toaster oven's fine.
Yeah.
Because you can heat stuff in there that you can't cook in the microwave and you don't have to start your oven. Most things, though, I could just use the stovetop. I don't, like... A hot plate is fine because it's just a stovetop. If I didn't have access to a stove, I would just get a hot plate in my room. Most things could be solved with a stovetop or a hot plate. I don't need too many fancy different shit. Right? Like, a rice cooker's nice. I used it because it was given to me as a Christmas gift. I don't think I would have ever went out and bought a rice cooker for myself.
Yeah.
Because I could just cook rice hot on the stove.
Yeah, the problem with getting a rice cooker is that it's a single-use item. Like, you can only make rice with it, right?
No, a rice cooker is basically a type of pressure pot. Like, you can't really use it as a slow cooker. But the thing about it is that it can cook fast, right? So you have rice done in like a minute.
Yeah.
You can also steam your vegetables and stuff in there too. So a lot of the dishes that you would make with rice, you could also cook in the rice cooker. The one I had even actually had a little thing on the top that you could open up, and while the rice was cooking, you could steam vegetables. It was fine. I liked it. It was a good Christmas gift. But again, I don't think I would have ever went out of my way to get it because I could do all of that on a stovetop. I'm a pretty easy guy, right? If I didn't have a microwave, I'd be like, I don't know if that $300 is worth the purchase when I can just cook the thing longer on the stove. Microwaves are great. They're a godsend. They're fast, but, like, that's also anywhere from $200 to $500 depending on the microwave that I could have used on something else.
Yeah. Well, apparently, Glacier Mountain Comics is a big proponent of the air fryers.
So they're too good. Years from now, we'll learn all the side effects. Yeah, the side effect is it turns you into a hipster with bad taste.
That's right. So did you? Yeah, I think we talked briefly about the Spider-Man trailer when it was just like a phone taking a picture of another phone that was taking a picture of a computer.
Yeah.
But they finally released the real.
Yeah.
Yeah, they officially released the HD full trailer, and I don't care who knows it. I'm excited. I want to watch. I want to see it.
I saw you were responding to somebody. It might have been Yellow Flash or something like that, or
yeah. I was like, I'm excited. I like the Spider-Man movies. I can't help it. The only one I didn't like was the original third one.
Well, you know what the problem is? I liked the Spider-Man 3 less than the Amazing Spider-Man for sure. But I still like Spider-Man 3 more than Amazing Spider-Man 2. Amazing Spider-Man 2 was pretty bad for everything that wasn't the death of Gwen Stacy arc. Like, they actually handled that pretty well, but everything else in the movie with Electro and stuff was just kind of shit.
Yeah, Electro was ridiculous. Just absolutely stupid. Kind of in the same way the Sandman was in the third one. Yeah, I don't know what happened there with those two.
And I think they got idea for either of them having like a main threat villain and a lesser villain that was causing problems.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad idea. I think nobody's done it right because they're not structuring the movie right, because they keep trying to like give equal weight to both villains, but that's not the point of having that type of structure.
Well, and I think, in my opinion, they made them too campy. You know, they went the full, you know, Mr. Freeze, just like cringe, you know, with Electro and with Sandman. It was just like too campy. Like, well, take it seriously, guys. I don't feel like they just weren't taken seriously.
Spider-Man 3 had an additional problem. They couldn't even decide what villain was their side threat villain, because they didn't need both Sandman and Venom in there when they already had the new Goblin, which really should have just been the Goblin the whole time anyway. He was the side threat
Goblin. Yeah. They should have just left the Sandman part out. Just take that out entirely.
Because Venom still could have been enough of a threat that he would have had to have made up with Harry to fight him together, right? Like Sandman.
Yeah, and frankly, they didn't develop Venom enough. They didn't have him on screen enough, and it was because of those stupid Sandman crap. And yeah, I think with the the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Who was the other?
It was the Green Goblin.
It was Green Goblin as well.
Yeah, but though he also looked more like the new Goblin than the Green Goblin. It was almost the same problem with both movies, because they needed Harry as the Green Goblin to replace the fact that they weren't going to ever use his dad as the Green Goblin, and he was the one that snapped Gwen Stacy's neck.
Yeah. So, yeah, Electro should have been. I mean, think about the tiny little bits with the with Rhino, right? In that movie, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Like, that's as much as I wanted to see Electro. Like, one or two scenes, and like minor.
Like him being like this,
he was always a minor character.
This sympathetic villain. Like, he should have just been this outright, just kind of dastardly person that was just getting in the way while he was trying to solve the main problem. I also agree with Mountain Comics there. And in fact, I've been saying for years, since the first Spider-Man movie, which, I mean, obviously you're doing the origin, the Green Goblin is the best person to put Spider-Man against, just because he's his most known villain, right? Like, that's just the way to do it. But ever since the first one, as much as I liked Alfred Molina as Doc Ock, for the second one, and then every single one on, I've just been wanting Kraven's Last Hunt as a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten it. I'm like, fuck. I'm never getting it. It's not happening.
Well, so, and I agree with Elric. Elric's basically saying, whatever, Topher Grace was a terrible choice for Venom. And I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Well, the sad part is he was one of the choices who was almost going to be Spider-Man. If it wasn't going to be, what's his name?
Andrew Garfield.
No, the first. Yeah. With the first one, Topher Grace was auditioning for Spider-Man for the first movie.
Yeah.
And then he came back for Venom. But he's not. That's not the type. He's not that type of character.
I feel like. What was the name? I don't know. There's a lot of people that could have done a much better Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I think he took it seriously, and he did the best that he could. He was just miscast. Yeah. I think it was just a poor casting choice.
No, because if he was Spider-Man the whole time, he's a good actor. I probably would have felt the same about him that I feel about Tobey Maguire, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not that he can't play a villain either. A lot of it's not just miscasting. It's also bad writing. There's a series of bad writing in the third Spider-Man movie, because I thought he was a great villain in Predators. He sold the psychopath of the group very well.
Oh, yeah. He was great. He was great in that. I don't know about that. So Joshua was saying Tom Holland looks like he's going to become Doctor Strange Jr. I didn't see that at all in the trailer.
I don't like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. It's not his fault, because I actually did initially like him in Civil War, despite the fact that I don't like Civil War as a movie on the whole. I thought his performance was fine. I just don't like the Spider-Man they wrote him. in his own movies and
Mhm.
all the other movies that he's been in afterwards. I don't, it doesn't
Yeah.
seem like Peter Parker to me. Which
Mhm.
was why I like the other ones. At least Peter
Really?
Parker felt like Peter Parker in the other two series.
Yeah, some people don't like Andrew Garfield, but I thought he did a great job
I thought
with
he
the
was better
banter.
at Peter.
Yeah,
Right. I
I
think
loved
McGuire
him.
was a better Spider-Man, but I think when it came to actually
Yeah.
Peter and how they wrote Peter and he performed it, he reminded me because Peter was like this arrogant,
Just kind
stuck-up
of frantic.
prick at the beginning before Ben
Yeah,
died.
yeah,
If you go, yeah,
yeah. That they captured that when he was like, yeah, like fighting with Flash Thompson and stuff like that. He was kind of an asshole.
yeah.
So, yeah, there's good things about all of them. I'm excited to see them all on screen again. I hope they don't screw it up, but it'll be interesting to see how the whole thing works with the multiverse. Is Spider-Gwen going to be in it? Are there other things? I don't know what else is going to happen. It's exciting. I like the looks of it, and I'm not excited about any other MCU movie, but this one just got me. I was just like,
Yeah, I'm not
"Ooh,
even excited about it.
oh,
I'll still, like I
oh,
said
it's
last
good."
time, I think we might have been on air when I said it.
Yeah,
I will still probably watch it. I'll wait until there's a streamable version, whether it's legal or not.
Yeah.
I'll just wait until I can watch it at home.
mm-hmm. Alex question, is it Sony or Disney? I think it's Disney,
It's
right?
technically
It's an
both.
MCU movie.
But Sony has been running
It's
all of
Marvel
Spider-Man.
Studios.
Yeah. Well, Marvel Studios is in charge of the project and everything. Sony has been the
Yeah.
one putting out the Spider-Man movies, though. It's been a combination of both studios. But,
Interesting.
I
But I
agree
mean,
with you, though. It's
Kevin
effectively
Feige,
Disney
though.
because it's MCU. It's effectively.
Yeah, it's Kevin Feige, right?
I do believe he does have final say over things.
Yeah.
It's just Sony still has the contract for Spider-Man. They've never lost it.
Yeah,
But they
yeah.
worked with Marvel because they're like, oh man, we can make a lot more money being a part of the MCU than we could just making a movie on our own.
Yeah. Well, that might end up being the first movie. Well, maybe not. I don't know. But it might be the first movie that I see in the theaters in a long, long time. Because I still haven't been to a theater yet.
Yeah.
Even though I keep talking about it. But.
Well, you know what I'm excited for, which we're not actually going to talk about because it's the end of the show, but I do want to put out the announcement that we will be having a movie night soon because, and you can partially thank me for this, the Legend of Link fan film has been fully recovered. There are no missing parts. It is one full file. It's accessible in Google Drive. Anybody can get it, but I have it, and we will be having a movie night in the near future. Stay tuned for when you should be looking for the schedule because I haven't decided on the day yet, but it's happening. Maybe this week.
In the Discord.
Yes, join the Discord. Descriptions below. Well, except on SoundCloud. I don't put it there, but you guys can find it easily.
And I'll put it in the chat.
You can find even
There
on
it
the
is.
Twitter. I believe the Discord link is there.
Mhm.
Join us, and we shall commemorate this fine moment in lost footage history. And in the meantime,
Yeah,
if you
we'll
like
announce the date and time later.
Yes, we will. We will. But in the meantime, if you enjoyed the show, please share it with somebody else who likes it. If you really enjoy the show, consider giving a donation to streamlabs.com/Vomitorium live to help with our monthly hosting fees. And then we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye-bye. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Yeah, definitely. Have a good one.